Note 10 has refused to clarify if Boris Johnson agrees with eugenics or whether black people are less intelligent than white people in wake of the controversial appointment of a new aide to the Prime Minister. Pressed repeatedly on the views ascribed to Andrew Sabisky, Mr. Johnson's deputy spokesman simply said the PM's views are well documented and declined to comment on individual appointments. Mr. Sabisky was drafted into number 10 after its chief strategist Dominic Cummings called for misfits and weirdos to apply to advise the Conservative government. The 27-year-old researcher is reported to have said, "Black Americans have a lower average IQ than white Americans and were more likely to have an intellectual disability. One way to get around the problems of unplanned pregnancies creating a permanent underclass would be to legally enforce universal uptake of long-term contraception at the onset of puberty. Vaccination laws give it a precedent, I would argue. I am always straight up in saying that women's sport is more comparable to the Paralympics than it is to men's. The benefits of a purported cognitive enhancer, which can prove fatal, were probably worth a dead kid once a year." Calls have been made for Mr. Johnson to sack Mr. Sabisky. One government advisor told BuzzFeed News, "Hiring this imbecile is an insult to those who came before, which is a minor point I know, but, Jesus wept, it makes me ashamed." John Trickett, Labour's shadow cabinet office minister, said, "There are really no words to describe Boris Johnson's appointment as one of his senior advisers, a man who is on record as supporting the forced sterilisation of people he considers not worthy. He must of course be removed from this position immediately. It is understood special advisers are prepared to boycott meetings where Mr. Sabisky is present and refuse to reply to any emails he sends." As the row intensified, Nicola Sturgeon, the First Minister, tweeted, "These are really not acceptable headlines for any government to be generating, or allowing to be generated. They need to get a grip fast and demonstrate some basic but fundamental values in the terms of our public debate." Ian Lavery, the Labour chairman, said, "It is disgusting that not only has number 10 failed to condemn Andrew Sabisky's appalling comments but also seems to have endorsed the idea that white people are more intelligent than black people. Boris Johnson should have the backbone to make a statement in his own words on why he has made this appointment, whether he stands by it, and his own views on the subject of eugenics." Earlier, George Eustice, the Environment Secretary, when quizzed about Mr. Sabisky's appointment, said it was a matter for Dominic Cummings and number 10 when asked about the aide's remarks on Sky News. At the regular Morning Me for more on this story, visit the news article link.